Hey guys, it's Corey from Redefining Strength, and today I wanted to go over how to master the side plank. The side plank is a very challenging plank variation, even in its most basic form, and I know a lot of people struggle with it, so I wanted to go over some great tips to help you dial in the form, regress, and even progress the movement. With the basic side plank, you start on your forearm, and you can have your legs out straight. If you stack your feet, it's going to create more shearing force on your spine, so unstacking can be a great way to modify but not really make it easier when you're doing it all the way from your feet. When you lift up, you want to think about keeping the chest open. You can reach the hand up. You want to think about flexing those feet so you're creating tension all the way down your body, and you want to think about keeping your elbow underneath your shoulder. A lot of times what happens is our elbow sneaks out, and what that can do is put a lot of strain on our neck and shoulder. We want to engage the muscles around our rib cage. We want to engage our back. We want to use our glutes, our obliques. We want to use everything down our body by flexing our feet. And then you can look up, okay? You can put your hand on your hip as well. What we tend to see happening is people either flaring the ribs up or sort of dropping their hips down because they can't create enough tension. I'll even see people not engaging their lower leg and then letting their lower leg rest on the ground. If you struggle to get that positioning, you definitely should not be stacking your feet. If you have low back pain, you might want to avoid this variation as well because that makes it harder. As I said, there's more force on the spine, so you need to be able to engage harder to do it. The basic way I see the side plank modified is from the knees, which is not a bad variation. However, you want to make sure you're still squeezing your butt cheeks forward when you do it. Putting the top leg out can help with that. And you still want to make sure that you don't get into this trouble where you're having your elbow slide out in front, okay? However, this doesn't teach you to engage all the way down to your feet. That's where the bench can come in handy because again, you can put that top leg in front, you can engage all the way down to your feet, you can make sure you're not rotating towards the ground, and you can lift up. You can even make sure you're engaging around your rib cage, but this allows you to engage all the way down as you hold. Make sure you're not dropping your hip, make sure you're not rotating your chest. A lot of times in order to try and go to that harder variation, you'll see someone doing this. And all that does is overload smaller muscles that aren't meant to handle the load. You want to protect your shoulder by engaging your back as you lift. This is an exercise that works your obliques and your glutes, so make sure you're using both. Modifying off the bench allows you to engage all the way down to your feet, and you do want to really remember that cue of flexing your feet because too often we don't create tension and we let this happen, and this really protects our knees, it keeps everything healthy, it trains us to engage all the way down. So make sure that you're flexing your feet, you're using that off bench variation to help you modify and not just off your knees. And then if you notice when I said the side plank modified, which also applies to the full plank, is you want to squeeze your glutes forward, okay? You don't want to sit your butt back because that will also lead to rotation. Squeeze your butt cheeks forward. Again, you can progress by using this variation. You can also progress the movement by going up to your hand. So this variation puts a lot more strain on the wrist and the elbow as well as the shoulder. It's harder, okay guys, to do this. You need to still engage your back and support yourself. When you do this position, make sure you're spreading your hand because you want to grip the ground. Again, you can do this from your knees or even off an incline as well. When you do this variation, you want to make sure you're not letting your hand and shoulder get way out in front. You want to make sure you're engaging your back, that you're stacking. If you do have wrist or elbow pain, remember you can go down to that forearm variation. When you do the forearm variation too, you can also help yourself engage more by using your hand, okay? You can have your hand in a few different places based on your shoulder mobility and what feels right for you, but don't be afraid to grip the ground with that hand. Progress to the higher plank variation when you're ready if you don't have elbow or wrist pain. If you do, make sure you use that forearm variation. If you liked the video, make sure to like it, comment below if you have any side plank questions, and subscribe. We're posting new videos each week. Enjoy!
Bye.